everything here, so dude, I don't know about this tight gear. I'm not a big fan of the tight gear. I mean, like I said, at least I don't have a big beer belly with tight gear. They need to make like fat guy gear that's just baggy. See what a factory bike feels like, buddy.
So all the time Hayden's been here, you've never ridden it?
I've never ridden a 250F race bike ever. First time I rode a 250F was the other day at the stock one, and I had fun. That thing was a blast. This thing's probably a tad faster. Never ridden a factory Yamaha 250. These things are ridiculous, dude. This ain't even like, I don't know how, so fast, so loud. I can't even hear, dude. It's just so loud. I need earplugs. This thing is so powerful. I think this thing can pull a 5th gear turn. One time I rode a pro circuit 125 Cowie 94. Mitch gave me a shot on the team for one race, because the one Pedro Gonzalez got hurt, one of his riders, and he gave me a 1-day ride, and I didn't get to practice. All I gotta do was line up for the finals at Washougal. Rolled to the gate on a bike. It felt so weird. It was just all different than my bike I'd been riding, my privateer Cowie. And dude, he's like, if you get top 10, you get to keep the ride. I went out and went like 10, 12 for like 11. Whatever it was. I'm like, no. But hey, everything happens for a reason, man. These things are no joke. And I'm sure all the bikes are good, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because the last time I rode was stock. Whatever. I enjoy the little things. I have fun with things that have to do with dirt bikes. I just like the sport. So if you don't get it, whatever. Yamaha 250 two-stroke here. Duff, Hayden's mechanic, his bike, so nice enough to let me ride it. So it's been a while. Been a while since I've ridden a two-stroke. Probably since we've hit ramps back in the day on the Hondas. Everyone used to run the Honda two-stroke 250s in freestyle motocross for a long time before the four strokes came out. But I never really raced a 250 two-stroke. When I raced pro, it was always a 125 class. One day I did race the 250 class. I think it was Oakland Supercross. They didn't have enough riders for the morning qualifiers or whatever. So they asked some of the 125 guys to race. I was like, all right, give me a bike. So I think Mike Craig had his Honda Troy bike sitting there and he wasn't racing, so they let me jump on it. And I remember racing the 250 qualifier at the night show, and I hole shotted the heat race, and I remember McGrath was behind me, and then I just remember he passed me, whatever, and then I just remember I like blitzed the whoops, because I'm like, I'm going for it. Try to pass him back, just through the whoops. I just remember like flying through the turn and like basically overshooting the turn, and he passed me. But either way, I think I ended up 3rd in the heat or whatever, and I ended up qualifying for the 250 main and the 125 main that night, which, it's pretty cool. But little 250 two-stroke story for you. Well, let's go ride this bike and see. Let's go see what it's like. I just got done riding Hayden's factory Yamaha 250F, so let's do a little comparison. What's better, Yamaha 250F 4-stroke or Yamaha 250 2-stroke? Just got done riding a factory 4-stroke. I will get on this 2-stroke. Whatever it is, you can hear the difference. Just the sound brings back memories, so it's kind of cool. Just that noise gives me memories of riding freestyle ramps on it. F 4-stroke race bike is definitely faster than a 250 2-stroke, for sure. I think they should allow you to race these in the 250 class. The 2-stroke 250s would be more fair. more affordable for the privateer. So I'm gonna do a little bike tuning on this thing, try to get it to feel a little better. So this bike's pretty much stock. Pretty sure all the clickers are stock. We're gonna get it to balance it out a little better. This might help if you're just a guy learning how to ride and want to get his bike to feel a little better. You kind of have to customize it for yourself, but we're gonna raise these forks up in the clamps, which will help drop the front end, not give it such that tall feel. That will help it corner. I'm sure Duff has all these torqued perfectly. I use the human torque wrench. Probably raised them like a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. That's pretty extreme. Usually might just go like a 1/4 inch. That you'll feel a 1/4 inch raising them up. And if your bike feels stink buggy, you can do the opposite. Drop the forks in the clamps, bring the front end up. It'll help balance it out. A lot of people mess with the clickers, but you can do it with just this setup here. The right thing to do is measure it with a little micrometer, but once again, use my human micrometer. My balls. I always go back over everything 2 or 3 times just to double check. Probably the most important thing you bring when you ride a stock bike is a flat head. So you can adjust your stuff. So the top is compression. These clickers are top compression. I don't know how many clicks there are. I think somewhere around 20 to 25 clicks range. They usually set them right in the middle, around 12 to 14. So what we're gonna do is, the forks are pretty soft, do the rebound 3 clicks in, and that will stiffen the front and slow it down. Right now, stock bikes come real bouncy. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I feel like we could, let's go 3 on the rebound, slow it up, 3 clicks in, 1, 2, 3. So I softened the rear 2 clicks and went 3 clicks in on rebound. You got high speed adjustment too here. This high speed really controls when you're flying into bumps fast or landing off big jumps. It cushions that very harsh, hard landing. And you can feel it in the height of the bike. If your bike's sagged out in the rear, if you turn the high speed in, like a half turn in, like a half clockwise turn, and it will level the bike, it will stiffen the rear up. So I don't mess with that unless you really have to. If you start messing with high speed, it does change the bike quite a bit. Let's go out for another rip on this thing. Give it one more run. I think we're the last ones out here. It's probably around 102 degrees today, and everyone came and trained this morning, but been riding most of the day. Like I said, when I get a chance to ride, I try to make it worth it. And I don't like every time I ride, I don't like feel perfect, but the days I do feel good, I like to keep riding. Just finding cool turns and cool jumps and sections that I think are fun, you know, and trying to get this bike a little more dialed in. It's still a little tall and bouncy for me, but it's fun, man. Two-strokes are fun to ride. I don't know if I had to decide between a four-stroke and a two-stroke. Technology is obviously better on a four-stroke. Still, it's not a waste of money. So if you wanted to buy a two-stroke, you know, it's definitely a fun bike to ride, and if you are just learning how to ride, it's a good stepping stone to teach you about momentum. They just don't have as much torque as four-stroke, so it will teach you how to corner, how to carry momentum. Riding trails and in the woods, a four-stroke would be better. It's gonna give you a little more grunt and torque to crawl through slower trails and over rocks and trees. Four-stroke has a little better grunt. Two-strokes would probably be more of like a good desert bike because they're better mid to top end. They scream. Once they're in the power band, they work really well. As far as rideability, I would say overall, four-stroke's easier to ride for sure, especially for a beginner. Every time I ride, I try to teach you guys a little bit of something for guys that are learning, you know, just coming in the dirt bike world. We have a lot of new customers to buying dirt bikes. I see that a lot in our comments. A lot of people saying, I haven't ridden in years, or I got my first bike. And if I can help you understand and make that process a little easier, a little better, then I did my job. So if you're just a new rider, get a 250F. Stock bike would be fine for you. Anything under 15, you probably want to start looking at a super mini or a mini bike, or I don't know, something smaller than a 250F. Either way, you know, welcome to the sport, and it's a lifelong passion for me. So it's kept me sane in an insane world. Obviously, my faith and Christianity is my base, but motorcycles are my outlet for sure. Not everyone finds that. I'm pretty fortunate to, you know, burn this path, and this path has allowed my family and my kids and everyone to have a pretty exciting life, you know. So, and another thing, I guess, what's on my mind, you know what we stand for, you know, our faith, family, freedom. You know, in this world, we're trying to be a voice of positivity, and with all the negative that's out there, and I like to fight the good fight and let men be men, and I feel like, you know, our family stands for those morals, and if you stand for them too, I mean, I can see us not seeing eye to eye on certain things, but those things should be pretty minor, and I just think a lot of people should rethink the negativity towards people with the same core beliefs. If we have the same core beliefs, I think you should be able to see past the little stuff, you know. But hey, if our core beliefs are way off, then it is what it is, man. We probably don't see eye to eye very well in things, and I understand you guys being negative or talking crap, but always remember, a negative person trying to describe you're never describing who you're talking crap on. You're really describing who you are. That's the game. So just remember that. Think about that. Think hard and long about that one. And I've been there, man. I've been there, like, ready to say something negative on someone, or put my 2 cents in, that I'm like, man, that's really just showing that I'm a negative person inside, and I have hatred or anger that I need to deal with myself. And been there and done that, dude. Had about 10 years of that person, so speak from experience and whatever, dude. Have a good day.